Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and I am doing a tarot reading for the collective. I'm pulling out some old decks. That's what I've been in the process of doing over these last few readings, because I'm like, I have a ton of tarot decks, and some of these decks I bought when I first started doing tarot readings. And I'm like, you know what? I need to pick these decks up again. So here we are. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right. So, this is for the collective, not for a specific sign. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy in the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Also, all of the December readings are up. The general readings, the love readings, and the money readings are up for all of the signs for December. My goal, knock on wood, is to start working on the general for January this weekend. That is the goal. We'll see what happens. As for yesterday's reading, I took a card and placed it to the side. I didn't pick that card because I was so caught up in the reading. I looked at the card after, I finished recording, and it totally went with the reading. It was, I told you something, told me to take it. It was the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups, which goes with that, because again, yesterday's reading was about somebody still holding on to something that they shouldn't hold on to. And they just need to be more fluid, flexible, and be open to different things so they can get to the same destination. It's just a different route type thing. So I thought that was interesting. One other thing I found interesting was that the Ten of Wands came up too. Now, in this, and I'm using my Game of Thrones deck, in this particular pre-shuffle energy, these two cards were at the bottom of the deck because it was split in two decks, and one was on one side and one was on the other. And these are the two that came out, which is the Eight of Cups, yet again, and the Ten of Swords. Now, this is what's crazy. When I was doing the pre-shuffle energy, I was doing the karma cards. I'm using three decks. I'm using my tarot deck, karma cards, and then the dream cards, like about pursuing your dreams, positivity, things like that. One thing that I picked up in the pre-shuffle energy is that someone may have lost faith in an institution. I don't feel like it's a person. I feel like someone feels deceived because there was a lot of Pisces energy in that, because it was like Neptune, the 12th house, and all this other stuff. So I was just like, okay, this seems kind of heavy. And when I was looking at it, I was just like, yeah, faith, which is what it has said. It was talking about institutions, and then also the Strength card came out in the pre-shuffle in the tarot deck. And then the Seven of Swords came out. I feel like someone, I'm trying to think. Okay. There was an outlook that someone had of, oh, it's like this. And then something was revealed. It wouldn't surprise me if they recently found this out, because we just had the full moon in Gemini. And a lot of stuff is coming out. Did anybody see the second Twitter drop, for those of you who are on Twitter? And all of that stuff where they were basically I told you. Remember one of the readings I was telling you, I think it was a love reading. And I was saying about that, like, be careful, because the full moon is coming up. And if you don't want something known, don't put it in writing, is what I had said. And now with this drop yesterday on the full moon of all days, all of this stuff comes out in writing. So I'm just like, wow, you have to love a full moon in a Mercury retrograde. And that's the thing. Mercury retrograde is in a few weeks, starting on December the 29th, I believe. So get ready. Good times. All right. So let's hop into this reading. Let's see what we get. I'm going to start with the karma cards, and then I'll do the tarot, and then I'll do the dream cards. All right. Let's see if the energy is the same. May I have the energy for the collective? May I have the energy for the collective? May I have the energy for the collective? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? May I have some cards, please? Thank you. Set that over there. Oh, okay. I like this. Okay, so the 8th house came out. So there will be some major changes, which makes sense. That's sort of like what I was talking about yesterday, where something's coming to an end as long as you let go of it, and then new stuff is coming in. So, which in that particular reading, it was the Ace of Wands and the Sun, which is happiness, passionate new start. Can also be about, physical activities as well, but doesn't necessarily have to be. Okay, I guess that was the one that showed up at the bottom of the deck earlier. All right, and then the 6th house came out, and I will take one more. Thank you. And then a planet came out, Jupiter. Okay, which is actually, we're in Sagittarius season. That's Sagittarius's planet. Let me move this over to the side here. I'm going to set this down. My table is small that I'm working with, so just bear with me on this one. All right, so in the 8th house, which is this card right here, and it says personal power, the mysteries of life, major change. Also on the other side, it says as a life or death issue, getting and using power, use other people's resources. I just heard in my head, let people help you, or let someone help you. Now, there was something else too in the pre-shuffle energy on this let someone help you part now that I heard that in my head. I need to be very clear about this because the main energy I was picking up in the pre-shuffle energy is don't wait for someone to save you. There's a difference in waiting someone to save you and letting someone help you. If you need help with something, of course, and someone's like offering, fine. If you want to accept that help, by all means, we all have free will. Do that. Let someone help you. However, don't put everything on pause just because that person hasn't come in yet to help you. That's what I'm saying. Don't wait for someone to come and save you. It's okay to accept help, but don't base your actions on whether you receive that help or not. What you can do is keep moving forward and focusing on what the goal is. And then along your journey, when someone comes in to your energy, into your life, and they're like, oh, hey, I'd like to help, then, okay, that's fine. But don't stay stuck in one place waiting like, okay, well, when that person finally comes along to offer their help, I'll go ahead and do it. No, don't do that. Don't wait on anyone to come save you. All right, so second card. It is the 6th house. It says, as a full-time job, serving, doing it a little at a time. Remember that, doing it a little at a time. And then on the other side of it, it says, service to others. What is good for us? Your work. So this is working with people and also you giving help. Now, something in my head now is reciprocity. Reciprocity. Where you don't want to just be the one giving. It gets old after a while. I'm speaking from experience. You don't want to be the one just giving. You want to be able to receive too. This is saying you're being the service to others. Also, it mentioned on here as a full-time job. Make sure that you're still carving out time for yourself, because me time is important. That way you can refill your cup so you're able to give to others. But for some of you, now something else I just heard in my head too, going back to the deception thing, I feel, and again, I feel like this might be an institution. It could be a college, it could be church, it could be government, whatever. Some type of institution, could be your job. But there's something where there may have been some deception that kind of affected your faith in whatever institution it is. Could have been a bank. I mean, you know, all types of stuff, crypto, the FTX scandal that's going on, all types of things that are going on right now. And more stuff is about to come out, so just buckle up. But I digress. So with that, something was shaken. Because it was shaken, you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it right. For example, let's say your bank broke your trust, where you found out some shady stuff was going on. Like if you were with Wells Fargo or somebody like that, because we know Wells Fargo stays in the paper. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to do something different. You may try to start your own bank. You may try to organize people and say, hey, we're going to start a dependable, honest, reputable bank is what we will do. Same thing with church. Maybe if there was something that happened with you at your church and you're like, you know what? This isn't it. I'm going to start my own church, or I'll start ministering to other people, or either I'll find a church and then bring more people to that church, a church that aligns with my ideals and things like that. So it's just something where your faith was shaken. You had a view of something. The truth came out. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to do this differently. Whatever area industry is in, I'm going to do it differently, because how they did it, they were wrong. I plan on doing it right. It's that type of energy. All right. And then the third card is Jupiter. Jupiter is about expansion. Also Sagittarius planet. And it says, learn or teach, be positive about, grow and expand. And then on the other side, it says the granting of, blessings from, good fortune. So this is Jupiter energy. So you can almost think about it as a wheel of fortune in a way, because that's what it is. Or as I call it, the will of God or the will of the divine, because that's what Jupiter is, the God of all gods. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and hop into some tarot right quick. May I have the energy for the collective? May I have the energy for the collective? Energy for the collective. I feel like there was some type of betrayal. You have the Seven of Swords, and notice on this particular, because it's on my spirit. Notice on this particular deck, with the Ten of Swords, because the Game of Thrones deck, it has traitor. Remember what they did to Jon Snow? That's what this is about. I honestly feel there was some type of betrayal by an institution or something, where you're just like, no, this ain't it. Which is why the Eight of Cups was by its side. You're not dealing with this. But again, don't wait on anyone to come save you. Can we clarify the cards on the table? Can we clarify the cards on the table? Can we clarify the cards on the table? Do that again. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. Messages. Something related to emotion. Also, fish again. I told you, this is very Pisces heavy. So some Pisces might be resonating with this. Doesn't have to be a Pisces, but you may be a Pisces or have it in your chart if you're resonating with this. But this could be about some type of message. Also, it can be about learning too. Page of Pentacles is more about the learning, starting something new, career, whatever. Page of Swords can be about learning new information, gathering new information. But also Page of Cups can be about learning something too that fulfills you emotionally. Also with the fish in there as well, a fish can be a sign of abundance too, which can go to the Jupiter energy. So, yeah, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay, how many cards is that? That's a lot of cards, I think. That's 4. I'll take them. Let's see what we get here. So, turn these over. Wow. Guess what the first card was? Page of Pentacles. I was telling you, yeah. So, starting something new, a message of something new. Earth energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Then you have the 4 of Cups as well. Then you have the 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Told you. Because don't forget, 8 of Cups. You're going towards your wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups. You have the 4 of Cups. There's some disappointment because 9 minus 4 is 5. And some of you still might be a little bit stuck on whatever happened at this particular institution. I honestly feel this might have been a university, like a college or something. And you thought the college was reputable, but then you found out, and it doesn't have to be that, but I'm just, this is the energy. But then you found out that they're not so reputable, which I can speak from experience on that too. But these are minor details. All right, the 4th card is Judgment. Yeah. There might be a class action lawsuit. It wouldn't surprise me if justice comes out during this reading. There might be a class action lawsuit. That might have been, remember what I was saying earlier, like Wells Fargo is always in the news or whatever? It's because they're usually getting sued. And there's no allegedly to that. It's a fact. So, yeah, for some of you, I'm just telling you right now, and especially I'm thinking of college with this 9 of Cups too. You see all of those books in the background? I feel like if it's not a college, it's something that involves a lot of information, working with a lot of information. That's what I kind of feel. But this Judgment card here, now this can be 2 things. It can be you walking away because don't forget 8 of Cups came out. And it's like, look, I'm calling judgment on this. Or it can be what I was talking about before, where there was a lawsuit against said institution, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be a college, but whatever it is. You found out about it and you're like, what the hell? Where some of you might have thought you were working for a reputable company, but then you find out, a few days later, you're in the paper, your company's in the paper, and it's like, okay, wait a second, they did what? So there could be some of that going on too. What's at the bottom of the deck? 8 of Swords. Isolation. Some of you, I'm going to tell you right now, due to this lawsuit, if you're affiliated with the institution in some type of way, you may feel isolated, almost like there might be a scarlet letter on you because of what the institution did. And because you were affiliated, it's almost like Scientology or whatever, where, and not saying that Scientology is bad because I've never dealt with Scientology. The only thing I know is what I've seen. And for some people, they say that it's great and it's worked for them. For other people, they're like, not so good. But I'm talking about the stuff that has been in the media that has not painted it in a positive light. And because of that, people who see that, they're like, oh, you're a Scientologist? Uh-oh. That's kind of the energy that I feel with whatever this is. Where if you're affiliated with this institution, if there was some type of court case or something, lawsuit, now you feel like you have a scarlet letter on you because of what happened to the institution that you were dealing with. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm just telling you the energy. May I have some more cards, please? I'm tempted to title this Trust Broken in an Institution. That's what I'm tempted to title this. Well, wow. Okay, that was a lot. When I tell you these cards, it went from the right, then it went to the left and landed on the ground. What do we have? And these are all in reverse. This should be interesting. I'm not big on reversals, but I do believe. Girl. Wow. Okay. This just confirmed everything that I just said. So get ready. First card upside down is the 7 of Cups. Now, 7 of Cups in the upright can be about many choices. It can also be about confusion. In the reverse, 7 of Cups there's no confusion. You know exactly what it is. This is a confirmation that truth came out. This is about an institution. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the other card that was in the reverse is the Hierophant. Hierophant is specifically about institutions. It can be about commitment. It can be about faith. It can be about trust. It can be about leadership in the community and all of that stuff. With the Hierophant being upside down, this is saying that it was broken. Trust was broken in whatever this institution is or was. Now, on top of that, didn't I just tell you it wouldn't surprise me if the Justice card comes out? You can't make this stuff up. Guess what is out in the reverse? Justice. There was some type of lawsuit. I feel there was a lawsuit or something that happened involving this institution that you may be affiliated with in some type of way, whether you are a customer, whether you are an employee, whether you are a stock owner or whatever. There's something about this, and if this hasn't happened, then it's going to happen. This is about somebody. This is someone's story. And it wouldn't surprise me if it happened during Mercury retrograde, if it hasn't happened already. But whatever. But with this Justice card being upside down, and this is Libra energy, Hierophant is Taurus energy, Seven of Cups is water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So yeah, with this Justice card upside down, this is letting me know this isn't good at all. And the truth is coming out. And also, they tried to hide it. They tried to avoid it, is what they did. The World card is in reverse. Usually when it's in the upright, you're graduating, you're closing out a cycle, those things are done. Whatever this is, with all of this drama, with the Justice reversed, with the Hierophant reversed, with that, and then with the Judgment, then with the Ten of Swords, this is letting me know that this is going to drag out. It's going to close out, but it's going to drag out. Whatever this is, more than likely through the courts or what have you. But you're going to do your best to remove yourself from it. With the Eight of Cups is what you're doing. Now, for some of you, I feel like you started a new job with this institution. I know someone that happened to as well. Where, I'm not going to say who, but where they started working for a company and then that company had like a few years after they left, because they were there for like a year, give or take. And then like right after that, there was this huge lawsuit. And if I were to say the name of the company, everybody would know it. Everybody would know it. Ironically, it's right here in Texas, to my understanding. But it was many years ago. So yeah, the thing is that this is a hot mess. But someone's faith in an institution has been broken. It's been, it's just, you can't trust them anymore. Whoever this institution is. I don't know if I want to say trust in an institution broken or faith in an institution broken. Whatever. This is the energy. You know better than me. That's all I got. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.